2026 won't change your life unless you change who you are first. If you're paying attention to the internet, you probably heard Dr. Joe Dispenza saying multiple times that you can't manifest a new reality from an old identity. He says, change your personality and your reality will change. But how do we do that exactly? Everyone thinks reinventing yourself in a new year is about a new planner, a new goal, a new, this time I mean it speech. Cute, but time doesn't reset identities. Attention does. And the biggest mistake you can make right now is assuming your life will change when the year changes. Because if your attention keeps leaking into the same people, the same scroll, the same emotional loops, the same, I'll start when I feel ready, then congratulations. You just dragged your 2025 identity into 2026 wearing a party hat. So here's the plan. 6 weeks. Not because 6 is magical. Because compression is powerful. Short windows where identity stabilizes instead of oscillating. Where your internal environment finally stops being pulled in 10 directions. And today, we're giving you the whole blueprint. Not manifest harder. Not be positive. Not just vibe higher and hope the universe reads your mind. Let's break the steps and why they matter first, and then apply this into a 6-week framework. First, the real reason you keep getting the same results. You will never go farther than the limits of the person you see yourself as. Read that again. You don't rise to your goals. You default to your identity. If you think, I'm bad with money, then even when money shows up, you'll somehow light it on fire. If you think, I'm always the one who gets left, you'll treat healthy love like it's suspicious. Your identity creates your limits. And James Clear says it bluntly, true behavior change is identity change. So if you're trying to change your life by only changing your to-do list, that's like trying to change the movie by yelling at the screen. You're not the screen, you're the projector. Now here's the plot twist. You don't change identity by screaming affirmations at yourself in the mirror like a motivational parrot. You change identity by changing the signal you repeat. James Clear gives the famous smoking example. One person says, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. The other says, no thanks, I'm not a smoker. Same situation, completely different identity. One is negotiating with the old self. The other has already switched teams. So here's your first assignment. Stop asking, what should I do? And start asking, who do I need to be? Because the moment you decide the identity, your brain starts scanning for evidence and opportunities to match it. That's not woo. That's how attention works. Now second, why trying harder often fails. Most people try to build new habits while keeping the old identity running the show. That's like trying to install a luxury kitchen in a house that's still on fire. Your old self isn't broken, it's familiar, and familiar is addictive. Your nervous system will choose familiar pain over unfamiliar freedom, because at least it knows the rules in pain. So if you've been stuck, it's not because you're lazy. It's because your system is protecting the identity it already knows how to survive as. That's why these 6 weeks matter. Not because you'll do more, but because you'll finally stop feeding the old loops. In this 6 weeks framework, the first shift is removing noise, because the next step isn't action. It's stopping what keeps the old identity relevant. Relevance is maintained through attention, not belief, not effort, attention. So if you keep watching content that triggers comparison, keep having the same circular conversations, keep checking your phone like it's an IV drip, you're literally paying attention to the old you and then wondering why she keeps showing up. Third, the part nobody wants to hear. There is no rebirth without death. If you want a new identity, something has to lose relevance. Old stories, old assumptions, old roles you play to be accepted. Sometimes old relationships with people who only know how to love the version of you that stayed small. And yes, that can feel like grief. Because even when the old identity was messy, it was yours. So here's a powerful question. What do you secretly keep doing because it proves you're still the old you? Maybe it's over-explaining. Maybe it's procrastinating until pressure forces you. Maybe it's choosing emotionally unavailable people because your identity still thinks love equals chasing. That's not personality. That's programming. Fourth, embodiment. The difference between pretending and becoming. A lot of people act as if, like they're putting on a costume. but embodiment is inside out. You internalize the energy and the standards of the version of you that already exists. You don't imitate him or her. You inhabit him or her. Think of the best actors. You don't watch them and think, wow, great pretending. You think, that person is the character. That's embodiment. Now, this is where Neville Goddard comes in. He says, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled until that which you feel objectifies itself. And before you go, okay, so I just feel rich and then my landlord evaporates. No, this is about identity signal. The subconscious responds to what feels normal. So your job isn't to feel manic happiness 24/7. Your job is to feel known, settled, coherent, like you're no longer negotiating with reality. That's why the 6-week method emphasizes coherence. When attention isn't scattered across urgency and stimulation, the signal gets clean. And coherence is what reality organizes around. 5th, why emotion matters. And why it's not the same as being dramatic. Dr. Joe Dispenza says, to change is to think greater than how we feel, to act greater than the familiar feelings of the memorized self. Translation. Your feelings will try to drag you back into the old identity. Your job is not to obey them automatically. But also, emotion is sticky. It brands experiences into memory. So we're not removing emotion. We're upgrading the emotional baseline, from anxious wanting to grounded being. Which brings us to the actual 6-week blueprint. Here's how to reinvent yourself in 2026 and manifest in 6 weeks, without turning your life into a personality crisis montage. Week 1, identity decision. No more vague goals. Pick one identity to embody for 6 weeks. Not, I want more money. Try, I'm the kind of person who keeps financial promises to myself. Not, I want love. Try, I'm the kind of person who chooses emotionally available connection and doesn't audition for affection. Write it as, I am a person who, and finish the sentence with behavior. And now the key, prove it with one tiny daily action. 1. Because every action is a vote for your identity, and votes compound. Week 2, detox the identity signals. This is where you stop feeding what no longer needs to run. You're not quitting social media. You're removing constant feedback loops that keep telling you who you should be and how fast it should happen. Expect restlessness, the urge to scroll, check, engage, distract. That's not desire, it's withdrawal. Don't fight it, observe it, let it pass without feeding it. This week is about interrupting automatic patterns, not being perfect. Week 3, embodiment rehearsal, daily, short, intense. 10 minutes, close your eyes. Step into the version of you who already has the identity. How does she walk into a room? What does she say yes to? What does she stop explaining? What standards does she keep without drama? Then, one embodiment move in real life the same day, one email you've been avoiding, one boundary you've been dancing around, one choice that says, no thanks, I'm not that person anymore. Week 4, pattern consolidation, consistency over motivation. This is where most people sabotage themselves by going, I feel good, let me check if it's working. Stop checking. Checking is the old identity asking for reassurance. Weeks 3 and 4 are about becoming consistent. Consistency is more powerful than motivation because it teaches your nervous system. This is normal now. And neurologically, sustained inward focus reduces cognitive noise and improves regulation, meaning behavior changes without force. Week 5, live as if nothing is missing. This is the week where desire matures. You still want things, but you're no longer organized around lack. You stop acting like the future has to save you, and you start acting like you're already safe. That's coherence. This is where people respond differently to you. Opportunities feel less blocked. Timing gets weird in a good way. Not because you manifested harder, but because you stopped contradicting yourself internally. Week 6, space. Let reality catch up. This is where most people panic and rush to force outcomes. Don't. The 6th week is not about movement, it's about space. Let probability collapse naturally. Forcing outcomes creates friction because you interrupt what's already reorganizing. This week teaches your nervous system that control is not the same as safety, and you'll notice subtle confirmations, aligned conversations, information at the right moment, invitations that feel natural instead of forced, not fireworks. Precision. Now let's anchor this with Bob Proctor, because he was relentless about one thing: your inner program runs your outer life. If you want to change your results, you must change your paradigm. Paradigm is just a fancy word for identity on autopilot. So these 6 weeks are you changing the autopilot. And by the end, you'll understand something important. You weren't trying to manifest a specific outcome. You were preparing an identity that can sustain a different life. So here's the close. If you're serious about reinventing yourself in 2026, don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the new year to turn the page, or think you're late because January passed by already. Don't wait for the right time. Pick your identity, collapse your attention inward, remove the noise, embody the new self. Repeat the signal until it becomes normal. And then watch how normal starts attracting what used to feel impossible. If you want to lock this in, do this right now. Comment your 6-week identity statement in 1 sentence. I am the kind of person who, not as a wish, as a decision. And if you want more videos breaking down the science behind manifesting with actual steps you can start implementing, comment, I'm manifesting. If you're in, you already know what to do.